All right, before we begin, you are going to need to set up your journal page just like this. So make sure you have the graphs, press pause, set up your page, and then press play when your page is set up. All right, so we are going to work on how to graph a line in slope-intercept form. This is something you've done in 8th grade. We're going to review it. So first graph, I've given you the equation. Remember, the equation is in the form of y equals mx plus b. So our slope, which is our m value, our slope is always next to the x. So our slope is negative 1 over 2. I don't write the x next to it, it's just negative 1 over 2. Your y-intercept is the number without the x. So if it's a minus 2, that tells us our y-intercept is a negative 2. When we graph, we have to have a starting point. Our starting point is the y-intercept. Y-intercept means that we have a point at negative 2 on the y-axis. So I go to my y-axis, there's 0, negative 2 is down 2, 1, 2. All right. So then our slope is going to tell us the direction we move. Our slope, remember, is our rise over our run. So if it's a negative 1, we're going to go down 1, and then we always go to the right. So starting at my point, I'm going to go down 1, then to the right 2 before I put a point. Notice we have to do both movements before we put a point. So again, starting here, down 1, over 2, down 1, over 2, puts me off the graph, so I'm not going to put a point there. All right, this is going to make a line. We're doing linear functions, so I'm going to continue it going this direction. So up 1, over 2, up 1, over 2, until I can't go on no more. All right, I'm going to put the phone down for a second so that I can connect this. Connect yours as well. Do the best you can. Mine's not perfect, but it's there. And then put the arrows at the end. All right. So again, we started with our y-intercept. We went down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. We can see our slope. There's 2 points. Connect them, making your triangle. There's our rise of 1 and our run of 2. Just like we've seen before, we can also check this is going down the mountain, so it's a negative slope. All right, let's look at the next one. So the slope is always next to the x, so our slope is 3. If the slope is not a ratio, we're going to make it a ratio. So 3 as a ratio is the same thing as 3 over 1. All right. Notice we don't have our b. We have y equals mx, but there's no plus b value. That b value then means there's nothing there. It's a 0. So our m, didn't put it up here, y-intercept is your b value. So what is our b? It's 0. All right, so it means we start with our y-intercept, go to your y-axis, and put a point at 0 on the y-axis. Use the pink so you can go over that. And our slope is positive this time, so that means up 3 and then over 1. So up 1, 2, 3, over 1. Okay, up 1, 2, I can't go up anymore. So I'm going to connect these. My line's going to go this way. So let's bring it down. Down 3, over 1. Down 3, and I don't have room to go down anymore. So we're going to connect them. So there's our line. So the steps for graphing, if you want steps for it, number 1 is you're going to plot point on the y-axis. And step 2, use slope to move. Okay. These are your notes for finding slope. Your next task is to do the slope intercept practice worksheet, and then you'll have a quiz over this.